Hey guys, welcome back to Kuma Style Reviews. What we have here is a bit of an anticipated one, but one that also came out disappointing, maybe because of said anticipation. Sentinel's re-edit line, their Iron Man figures, red and gold. This is an exclusive repaint of the black and gold armor, which also came out this month, August 2016. This figure measures at about 7.5 inches. So, and you can see it weighs approximately 1 pound there. Just reviewing them on the scale now. In terms of its accessories, pretty standard for this line. Hands and a stand, which also comes with a flight stick or whatever you want to call it as well. Alright. And we'll get into the disappointment part later. Give you a roundabout here though. And it's a pretty piece. I mean, it was definitely everything I expected in the looks department. Now, as I'm scrolling down there, notice his thighs on the front side. Bit of smudging there. That's part of it. We have him next to the Hulkbuster, which I believe was about 8 inches tall. The red and gold, his size is pretty standard, so I decided to just put a big one. And normally I put them all side by side and stuff, but now we're at 6-7 figures, and it's a bit much, moving all those stands out of my detolfs and this and that. So you can see right there, Hulkbuster, like the rest of the line, he has a panel that pops off of his back, switch, and then the eyes light up. So I'm doing a bit of adjusting there. But what's cool about this piece is, Sentinel, they're learning. They actually did some improvements on that back panel there. And I'll show you. Now, instead of a panel that pops off, this one actually has a latch or kind of a hood piece that flips up instead. So really neat stuff. Alright, get that flipped up. And there's a switch, but it's in pretty deep and it's a pretty short stick. So yeah, even with my fingernails, it's not good for anything but really scratching the paint up in there. So I just took one of his hands and did it. Take it whatever you want, but just make sure it's not harsh. Now, one of the problems with this one, I don't know if it's the finish, I don't know if it's the paint used or what, but there are some chipping issues with it. I'm actually sending mine back to Sentinel. You know, God bless their customer service and let me doing it. But it's unfortunate to have to pay to ship it back to Asia and this and that, and then wait for whenever it gets returned. So probably just ship out a new one. We're going over the Poseability here. I am a bit let down that his head, the side-to-side movement, it's less than the others. But in terms of the rest of them, he is pretty much on par. Like the Mazenkaiser that I recently reviewed, he doesn't have a true waist swivel. There's not a lot of articulation down there, but he does have it in the upper two parts of the abdomen, which give him something, but it's not the same as a good waist swivel. Alright. And the reason I'm leaving them in that pose, kind of hunched over there, I want to show you something cool on its back. And like I said, Sentinel, you know, for all the little QC issues with this piece, it's definitely showing some improvement in their general engineering. So, once I get focused here, boom. There's actually forward and back movement in the arms with a piece that it's almost muscular. Now, while I was putting it on the flight stand, not even touching this piece, that part of that back shoulder area fell off, and it took part of that blue orb with it too. So I got it glued back on, but the part with the blue orb or whatever did not come on cleanly at all. So that's actually why I'm returning it. I don't mind the chips as much, but that's awful. And the fact that I wasn't even touching it or playing with it or even doing something with the arms, you know, it just literally fell off and took part of the blue piece with it. It sucks, and I wish it was a clean break because the joints and everything like that on this are good. It's mostly cosmetic, the crap that's wrong with it. But at the same time, it's poor. I paid retail for this, the $140 that it cost at the convention because I got it at the convention. But, now I have to pay to ship it back. EMS is going to be not cheap, and this and that. And like I said, I have to wait for it to come back. But there's a good Iron Man pose too. Plenty posable, and like I said, it's a good looking figure. I just wish it wasn't so, poorly done in areas. I don't know how to describe it. Wish they would have used a little bit more glue on that one piece so I could keep it. But alright. Just switching out the hands, ball joints, just like the rest of them. When it comes to this line, even though this one's making some improvements there, it was a light drop, no worries. It definitely, they're moving forward with it. But there's a baseline of just articulation, how they work in general. That's cool. There's a good consistency to them, which I like. But when it comes to reviewing them, it does get kind of redundant because, in a sense, outside of, a big one with a lot of different engineering like Hulkbuster, man, it kind of feels like reviewing the same figure over and over and over again with a reshell. So, but they're good figures, but like I said, how many has this been now? 6 or 7? That's a lot of Iron Man. There we go. Pulsar Blaster. And even for that pose, if that head could just turn, a good 20 degrees more. Now, instead of bringing them on the table, I'm just showing you guys what they look like all together. That's the entire line, plus the Armorized Iron Man. Yeah, end of the day, great looking figure. I can't really give an opinion on it. I haven't really read other reviews or thoughts on it. I have heard some issues about the paint, so it may be something throughout the line. Not really as excited for black and gold, but I'll do an update video when the new one comes in for Sentinel. But here he is, re-edit 07, black and gold. Check out the full, or red and gold, full pictorial review, kumastyle.com. Thanks for watching.